So, a question that's plaguing the community and has been for a hot minute is how to effectively tame a Desmodus, with a few people believing some things and a few people believing a few other things. Inserting the most recommended of the creatures to use to effectively tame a Desmodus, with a theory we're going to prove if it's real or now debunk. So this is the deal. We've got a 150 Desmodus down there ready and waiting to be tamed. We've got over here a Moschops with 27 points in health. We've got one over here with 40 points into health. One over here fully leveled, so now kicking out at 19k health. And then a Daeodon with even more health at 46k, which is hoping to answer something that's been put to us, that the more health something has, or maybe health points something has, the more effectively it'll help to tame a Desmodus. Of course, first thing you've got to do is get picked by a Desmodus. With blood bags in your inventory is always a help. Our Desmodus decided to forget all that. We're going to pick up one of the Moschops right now, and it picked up the 40 points in health and gave it 57.8% effectiveness, which is definitely a massive improvement. That's on 1x rates, by the way. Certainly way better than I've seen before. And next up, our Moschops with the lesser health, with the 27 points in health instead now. And FYI, we're in this cave here at 63.5, 53.7. There's plenty of spawns in different caves across the map, but this is certainly one of the easier ones to work with because there's only ever one or two in here, and of course being in the cave, it's a bit easier to manage. So starting with a fresh 150 once again, it comes in for the pick, and we are going up to 57.4, 57.5, 50, 57.6. Which, if the theory is correct, would mean the lesser health of this Moschops here, whether it's point related or total health related, has indeed tamed this for a little bit less effectiveness per pick. Now, using this fully leveled in health Moschops with just under 20k health, which, yeah, pretty unattainable, I guess. Well, unless you got some mutations and breeders out there, I'm sure you will have plenty of those. On a fresh 150 once again, we're now seeing 59.2, 59.9, a vast improvement on effectiveness on that first pick without a doubt, going up to 61.3, though not by as much of an amount as I would have hoped for, but certainly definitely more. So leveled health or total health definitely matters, unless it's maybe points in health. But to help to debunk that, a max tamed 150 Daeodon fully leveled in health, kicking out now 46k health. So let's see what this does in comparison. There's our fresh 150, there's the pick, and we are off, kicking off to 61.3, which means there must be a cap on how much health a creature needs to hit that initial 61.3 effectiveness, which it'll then improve on with every single pick following that. So we've got a Moschops here with 10k health. See if this hits that 61.3 effectiveness. Very hard to see it, but we are on 59.2. 59.2 with 10k health. Okay, and just to prove a point, if it's based on health points or health total, we've got another one here with different points in health, but 10k health once again. Okay, marginally less, but if it's pretty much close to 59.2, we can at least deduct it's not based on health points, but instead based on just total health. Exactly 59.2, which would mean it's purely based on health, not health points. So on that basis, testing a Moschops with 15k health sees us reach 60.3, meaning there's still a way to go then. 17.5k health. Does that get us that magic number? That capped number that we seem to not be able to pass any further? 60.2, 60.8. That is still landed on 60.8. Could 20k have been the magic number? Okay, so 18.5k health now with all 88 levels put in. There it is, 61. And not quite 61.3. Because this Moschops hasn't quite got the 20k health. Meaning and confirming, considering this is fully leveled in health, but still didn't reach that 61.3. But this Moschops with 19.8k health did get that 61.3, but also required all 88 levels to get that 19.8k health. Would indeed mean you are far better suited to using a Daeodon for Desmodus Taming, because of course with Daeodon leveling, you haven't got to put as many points into health and therefore can reach the XP required to get that health anywhere near what's required for that effectiveness. And just to check this being on just over 18k health, we'll see not quite enough. So let's put a few more levels in. Okay, so now 18.6k health. Sees 61. So still not quite there, but just over 19k health. I think this is going to be the magic number by the looks of it. Gets us 61.1. 19.4k health. 61.2. Come on, man. But 19.8k health on a Daeodon requiring only 28 levels in a Daeodon with 39 base points in health, which is achievable on most Daeodons, I guess. Finds that magic 61.3, which can't be surpassed, no matter how much more health goes into something. But with the Daeodon requiring less levels, way less levels to reach that health pool, that means a Daeodon is most definitely the winning choice when it comes to taming a Desmodus, without a doubt. Now we can put that one to rest. There is some extra caveats to this, by the way. Whilst that surely would be enough health on our Daeodon to last the stretch, as we can see there, it's going up pretty well. Throwing in blood bags on the thing will actually see less taming effectiveness on it as a result, because it's instead pulling the blood bags off it instead of the health off the Daeodon. And that debunks another thing that a few people have said, use blood bags instead of not, which turns out that, yeah, not a good thing. If you've got blood bags on your creature, whilst, yeah, it's going to prevent it from getting killed, it's going to offer less timing effectiveness as a result. So if you've got, oh, of course, a Daeodon that's got the ability to heal, then no blood bags. You want blood bags on your character, which don't need to be in your hotbar. They can simply be in your inventory. They don't need to be anywhere at all. So when we get picked up, we'll see them getting pulled out of our inventory as and when, increasing its timing affinity. Of course, hopefully you know the drill by now. You definitely want to get that effectiveness up first, and that's by, of course, making sure it's picking up the Daeodon at every interval possible. And it does seem if standing just in the way of the Daeodon, that does seem to work effectively enough. Of course, isolating one Desmodus on its own can be tricky, and if you're looking for how to do that more effectively, me and Captain Fat Dog was testing out a trap just recently that, well, isn't really for me to show myself. If you're looking for a trap design, keep an eye on Captain Fat Dog's channel. I'm sure you'll have one out very soon. And then to make sure it picks you up, jump on the Daeodon and let it do its thing. Of course, having a parachute or a Drakeling is going to be a bit of a benefit. Each time it picks you, it looks like it drains 10 blood bags, which should mean you're only going to need 100 blood bags in total for a 150. Noting it's difficult to see, but every time it picks you, that effectiveness will drop, which would mean when you get to that last 10% on a 150 on 1x rates, it would likely mean that you're not going to get a perfect timing effectiveness. However, I'm sure you've seen my hotbar by now. There we go. Once we've reached that magic 70% and got just beyond it, which we seem to have just now, now what we're going to do is make sure that it picks up the Daeodon. Make sure that effectiveness goes back up to 100%. We're going to run up to it and spam that button, baby. And there we go. Granting us a perfect tamed Desmodus at 224 from a 150. Look at that. For a perfect 150 time to get it to 224, all you need is a Daeodon with just shy of 20k health, 19.8 to be exact, Sanguine Elixir, and not as many blood bags as you'd expect. Easy as that. So there you go. Now you know. Hopefully this helps somebody out there. Until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always,